Mark Zuckerberg has a net worth of $215 billion and has a base salary of $1 a year to evade taxes. S tier. Larry Ellison, the co-founder of Oracle, decided owning a single home in Hawaii wasn't enough, so he dropped $300 million for the entire island. His purchase came with 90,000 acres of land, a 3,200-person town, 2 four-season resorts, and a speeding ticket. Imagine paying that much money and not being able to do what you want. El Chapo, a term used in Mexico to refer to short people, owes the American government $12.6 billion. He was printing so much money from selling corporate motivation powder that he owned 2 yachts, a fleet of Learjets, and a private zoo. He even made Forbes magazine's annual list of billionaires 4 times. Fun fact, he even tried to turn his life story into a movie, which ironically helped law enforcement track him down. This guy was in way over his head. F tier. Jack Ma, the billionaire tech mogul who started as an English teacher earning just $12 a month, is the same man responsible for founding Alibaba, the most successful company in Chinese history. But despite being worth $23.7 billion, Daddy Ma is tired and doesn't like being rich. According to him, being the richest man in China is a great pain. He also criticized the Chinese government and disappeared, reappearing a few months later as a teacher. Indian businessman Mukesh Ambani is the richest man in Asia with a net worth of $97.9 billion. He's also responsible for the most expensive wedding of all time as a gift to his son. It was a 6-day event and reportedly cost around $600 million, which only accounts for 0.5% of his total wealth. If you wanted an invite, you had to be rich, with gifts including a Bugatti from Jeff Bezos, a private jet from Mark Zuckerberg, and an $80 million villa with a private beach from Miss Ambani to her new daughter-in-law. I really need to upgrade my social circle. Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang has a net worth of $118 billion and is known for his unorthodox leadership style. He believes CEOs fire workers too quickly and prefers to torture them into greatness. 76% of Nvidia employees are millionaires. William Henry Gates III is an eccentric man. Back in high school, Bill hacked the school computers to get himself and his friend into all-girl classes. He also used to memorize his employees' license plates to track exactly when they arrived and left work. Bill even likes to drink poop water. But thanks to the magic of Microsoft, he was able to become one of the richest men to ever live, with a peak net worth of $150 billion. He also believes the filthy rich should pay higher taxes. F tier.
Google the richest women in the world, like where they got their money from. It's rough out there, guys. They ain't f***ing starting businesses.
MacKenzie Scott is one of the richest women in the world with a net worth of $38.3 billion, a fortune she proudly earned from catching her ex-husband Jeff Bezos cheating with his mistress. The richest man in the world, Elon Musk, with a net worth of over $400 billion, hates sitting in traffic, so much that he built a tunnel under the city just to avoid it. He then started selling hats for his tunnel. 50,000 hats later, he swapped them out for flamethrowers. He then sold 20,000 of those. 5 days later, he strapped one of his cars to the most powerful rockets ever made and shot it into space. And then the rocket actually landed itself. Elon Musk is the embodiment of the word, why not? You probably noticed that God tier only has space for one person. And while Elon may be considered the richest man in the world, there's actually someone richer. Steve Ballmer was dorm mates with Bill Gates. Today, he's described as one of the luckiest billionaires in the world. Bill hired Steve as his first business manager, a role that eventually led him to taking over as CEO when Bill stepped down. Microsoft stocks dropped by 36%, equal to a market cap loss of roughly $100 billion, only $12 billion less than his entire net worth. Founder of Theranos, Elizabeth Holmes was once America's richest self-made woman with a net worth of $4.5 billion. She promised to revolutionize blood testing, making it faster, cheaper, and less painful. A couple of years later, she was arrested for defrauding investors, with her net worth falling to a grand total of $0. Fashion mogul Bernard Arnault said this in a 2023 interview.
Allons à Arnault, the richest man in the world. You won't really be happy. Mamma mia!
He's still ridiculously rich, sitting on a $169 billion fortune, but it's still far from God tier. Jeff Bezos used to flip burgers at McDonald's. Now his net worth could buy every McDonald's on the planet and still have billions to spare. It all started when he founded Amazon.com in his garage. That very same garage of the house he was renting for just $890 a month. Today, he's the 24th largest landowner in America and is dropping $147 million on houses. Only to tear them down and build a mega mansion instead. He also dropped $90 million on a mansion to live in while his main home was being built. From flipping patties to mansions, it's a decent A tier.
You said we should live in a world of abundance, and that's not how we're thinking about it.
Larry Page, co-founder of Google, has a net worth of $160.8 billion. He also owns 5 private islands. I'm not quite sure he understands the whole abundance thing, but it's a solid B tier. The 8th richest person in the world, Warren Buffett, chooses his McDonald's breakfast order depending on how the stock market is doing. If the market's up, he'll splash out on a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. If it's down, he'll settle for 2 sausage patties and a Coke. But unlike regular people like you and me, Mr. Buffett gets all his meals for free with the legendary McDonald's Gold Card. One of only a few known cards in circulation, granting him a lifetime of free food, Happy Meals, and E. coli. The rich get richer. A tier. Hermes shareholder and French businessman Nicolas Puech planned to cut ties with all charities and leave his entire $13 billion fortune to his Moroccan gardener. It's a high C tier. Michael Bloomberg, the richest American politician, once spent $1 billion in a bid to become the next president of the United States. Plot twist, Michael got absolutely zero traction and endured one of the most expensive failures of all time. This is a F tier move with S tier lore, so it's going in C tier. Meme stock billionaire Ken Griffin bought the most expensive home in the United States for $238 million. He also bought 4 units at a luxury Chicago high-rise condominium totaling $58.5 million. Ken sold 2 of them for $19 million. I'm guessing he really didn't like the condos since that's a lot less than what he paid for them. When you're worth $46 billion, you can afford to make mistakes like these. Saudi's Crown Prince Mohammed Bin Salman is a man of refined taste. During a 2014 visit in the south of France, he spotted a 440-foot yacht owned by Russian oligarch Yuri Shefler. The Crown Prince decided he wanted to buy the yacht, so he sent someone with 400 mil to buy it.
3 hours later,
the mega yacht was his. He also decorated it with a painting worth more than the boat itself, the 450 Leonardo da Vinci's Salvator Mundi. Vladimir Putin claims he only earns $140,000 a year and lives in a modest 74 square meter apartment in central Moscow.
Well, I think Putin is significantly richer than me.
You really do, yeah?
Yes.
The Russian dictator owns a fleet of luxury cars, dozens of private jets, palatial mega yachts, one worth $900 million, an extensive designer wardrobe, and a high-end watch collection worth millions. A Google Earth satellite image also revealed his alleged most recent real estate purchase. His $2 billion mansion, sitting on 170 acres of land that's overlooking the Black Sea. My placement of Putin on this tier list has no connection to my views on his beliefs or past actions. God tier. Rob Walton, the eldest son of Walmart's founder, Sam Walton, is a true car enthusiast. Instead of stacking shelves, Rob spends his days cruising around in a Shelby Daytona Cobra Coupe worth around $15 million. There were only 5 ever made. Rob Walton crashed the Shelby Daytona. Fortunately, he has a car collection worth $200 million to choose from.